Hey guys, it's Spencer here. The time has come. Karen asked me to do this week's video, and I've watched the other videos. I watched Anna's, Ashton's, Hunter's, Tyler's, and Karen and Ryan's first few videos I did. And Karen asked me yesterday morning if I would do this last video, and then, as we know, Tim said to make a final video for the Awana class. So here's mine. Karen asked me, when she asked me to do, I told her I had something else in mind. Instead of doing a lesson, she said, okay, she do what you feel like you're going to do, and I feel like I need to give my testimony to y'all. I haven't said it much at church. I haven't said it a long time at church, actually. I couldn't get enough courage to say it, And so here it is. I'm trying not to get emotional, but I thought I was saved at a Bible school. No, it was a revival and a Tuesday night at Cheatham's Chapel. I was probably 8 or 9 at the most, and Hunter was already saved. And I'm trying to get emotional. He was already saved. My cousin Kayla, she said, we got to close in prayer, and she said, I got a prayer request. And at the time, Jakey Cunningham, y'all may not know, y'all may know him or may not, but at the time he was a pastor there at Cheatham's Chapel. And I don't remember who was helping in the revival. I don't remember what happened at the revival. All I heard was Kayla saying, remember my cousin Spencer, he's not saved. That's all she said. And I went straight to the back church and went outside, and I went to my Aunt Tammy's car. She had a 2007 Chevy Trailblazer, and I was sitting in the back seat. Started crying and stuff, and they got the pastor out there and all the deacons and stuff, and everybody was gathered around the car. And he said, "You felt need to pray?" And I said, "Yeah." We prayed right there in that back seat, and I said, "The Lord saved me." Well, that wasn't the case. I didn't get saved then. For a long time, I thought I was saved, and then I wasn't. So, well, let me back up. 7th grade year at the Crusade for Christ at Midway. That's when we first started coming back to church, and we started going to MCM. And Paul Myers, y'all may know him, one of our good deacons at the church. He was one of the chaperones at the crusade that year. And I went up to pray, and Paul said, "Who are you here to pray for?" I said, "I don't know." He said, what do you want to pray for?" And I said, "Nothing." I didn't say anything to him. And I got up off the altar, and he said, "What happened?" And I said, "I just got called to preach." So I went up in front of the whole congregation of people there, all the students and the teachers and stuff, and all the staff that was there. And I told people I got my calling to preach. Well, it wasn't long after that, Tim got word of it, and Tim come to the house, and we talked about it. And the next Sunday, I was to preach. I remember it's like it was yesterday, and I preached that Sunday night, I believe it was. And I preached out of Jeremiah chapter 1, verses 4 through 9, if I'm not mistaken. And we all know now I'm not a preacher, but back then I thought I was saved, and I thought I was doing the right thing, and I was announcing my calling to preach. And like I said before, that wasn't the case. So I went along, and I got some phone calls to preach at different churches, and I denied them. Preached at our church, and that was it. And nothing else was said about it. I never preached again after that. Something was odd. Something wasn't right about me. I felt different. And because I wasn't saved. I thought I was, and I wasn't. So let me turn the air conditioner down a little bit. There we go. So I went on, and went a few years after that. Like I said, I was 8 or 9, one. And the Crusade for Christ, or the Retreat for Christ up in Pigeon Forge at the Wilderness, We go every year. This year, unfortunately, got cut short, and we had to do it online, which I love that too. I'm just glad we had it. And I couldn't take you to the room or the spot, but I know it was at the retreat when I got saved. And there's so many rooms there I could take. I wish I could take you to it and show exactly where I got saved, but honestly, I don't know which room it was. And Nathan Epperson, good Lord willing, he followed the Lord that night. And I said, Lord, if Nathan does a big talk, I'll go to that chair and I'll pray. And I'll ask you to come to my heart. Well, Nathan started a big talk and told his testimony and Nathan's whole life story, basically. And Nathan touched me. And if it wasn't for Nathan that night, I don't know if I would ever got saved. People say it before, if it wasn't for a sign and wasn't for that and wasn't for this, that I wouldn't have got saved. I think that night, if Nathan wouldn't have followed the Lord, I wouldn't have been where I'm at today, living for the Lord, and I'm saved. So I got down on my knees and I prayed, and Tim was praying with me. And I don't know if Tim heard me. I don't know if Tim's ever talked about this before. Like I said, I've told my testimony once or twice at church since I've been saved. And I was 15 at the time. This was May 2nd, 2015 on a Friday night. And I got up and Tim said, what happened? I said, I just got saved. It was shocking. Nobody knew. I didn't know until maybe a few months before the retreat that I was lost. I thought I was saved all along. But yeah, I'm saved now, and I seen Anna and Jeannie coming to Hammers today, and they had the family with them, and I seen them out of town a minute ago, and I told him I was doing the Bible or the Awana class tonight, and Anna said, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "Well, I told Karen I had something else in mind." And I said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to give my testimony." And I said, "I haven't in a long time." And I said, "I felt like I needed to do this." So with that being said, guys, that's my testimony. And I look forward to see y'all Sunday morning. And I hope you guys enjoy this.